Before you divorce a narcissist, the shocking secrets lawyers keep hidden until it's far too late. If you are even considering divorcing someone you suspect may be a narcissist, pause before taking that first step. Once the process begins, whether you file or they do, the entire landscape of your life shifts dramatically. Every interaction, every decision, every expectation you once held will be tested. Those who have gone through it often describe a kind of psychological war zone where the cost is far more than financial. People lose not only their homes, businesses, or savings, but also their sense of peace, stability, and sometimes even their health. What makes this experience so devastating is that most victims walk into it unaware of the psychological terrain they're entering. They believe they are entering a legal process, when in truth, they are stepping into an emotional battlefield designed by a manipulator who thrives on chaos. One of the first realities to understand is that the legal system itself is not equipped to protect you from the emotional warfare of a narcissist. Courts are structured to apply the law, not to identify psychological manipulation or covert abuse. From a psychological standpoint, this is a critical gap because narcissists exploit procedural systems with surgical precision. They weaponize the ambiguity of the law, using charm, deceit, and distortion to turn judges, lawyers, and even mediators into unwitting allies. It's like entering a bullfight without knowing how to handle the bull. The narcissist charges with full force, and you, unaware of their tactics, find yourself defenseless. Even skilled attorneys can be caught off guard, because narcissists often appear calm, logical, and persuasive, masking the predatory intent that operates beneath the surface. This is why psychological preparedness is as vital as legal strategy. Your lawyer may be trained to interpret statutes and negotiate settlements, but they depend entirely on the information you provide. And narcissists, masters of projection and narrative control, will rewrite history to portray themselves as the victim and you as the aggressor. So it becomes essential not just to gather documentation, but to frame it with clarity and emotional intelligence. Psychologists often advise clients in high-conflict divorces to maintain a fact-based narrative, chronological, neutral, and verifiable, because emotional outbursts or disorganized evidence only reinforce the narcissist's smear campaign. The clearer your narrative, the harder it is for the narcissist to manipulate perception. Here lies what some therapists call the divorce paradox. During the most traumatic period of your life, when your nervous system is flooded with fear and grief, you must make the most consequential decisions of your future. Your brain, overwhelmed by the fight-or-flight response triggered by narcissistic abuse, tends to operate from the limbic system, the center of emotion and reactivity. Yet what you need most in this phase is access to the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for logic, foresight, and judgment. That's why therapists often emphasize grounding practices, breathing, journaling, mindfulness, to help victims stay anchored in rational thought rather than being swept away by emotional panic. Without this, you risk making choices driven by trauma rather than clarity. In any divorce, narcissistic or otherwise, 5 key areas define the process: division of property, including assets and debts, spousal support, custody and parenting arrangements, child support, and attorney's fees. But when a narcissist is involved, these categories become weapons. Each bucket, as legal experts call them, becomes a new battleground for control. Custody becomes a stage for image management. Financial settlements turn into opportunities for revenge. Even the distribution of debts can be twisted into a psychological trap meant to drain your energy and resources. Psychologically, this behavior stems from what researchers describe as narcissistic injury. When their ego feels attacked, they respond not with reason but with vengeance, seeking to destroy the person they blame for exposing their weakness. Understanding this pattern is your greatest armor. You cannot outmanipulate a narcissist, but you can outprepare them. Educate yourself about their tactics, regulate your emotions, document everything, and build a legal team that understands high-conflict personalities. Above all, remember, your goal is not to win the war they've declared. It's to reclaim your peace, your autonomy, and your sanity. The courtroom is not just a place of law. When dealing with a narcissist, it becomes the final stage of their performance. But this time, you don't have to play your old role. You can walk out not as their opponent but as someone finally free. When you find yourself thinking, "But what about my pain? What about everything I've lost? I never asked for this life. I wanted the fairy tale ending," it's important to realize a difficult truth. The court system is not built to heal emotional wounds. Judges will not weigh heartbreak. Lawyers, though they may sympathize, are bound by deadlines, caseloads, and statutes. You are one of many clients for them, but this is your one and only life. That distinction changes everything. The responsibility to navigate, lead, and protect your own interests lies ultimately with you. And when your opponent is a narcissist, someone who thrives on distortion, control, and psychological chaos, your ability to document, strategize, and stay emotionally disciplined becomes your greatest survival tool. Psychologists often remind clients in these situations that knowledge and structure are grounding mechanisms. When you understand how the system works, you reclaim a sense of agency in a process the narcissist is desperate to dominate. Each stage of divorce connects seamlessly to the next, legally, financially, and emotionally. For instance, property division isn't just about who gets the house or the car. Assets generate income, and that income influences alimony, which then affects child support. It's a delicate domino effect where one decision can echo through every part of your future. Narcissists, however, exploit these interconnections to delay, confuse, and destabilize you. Psychologists describe this as process manipulation, a tactic meant to exhaust you into compliance. They may stall financial disclosures, hide assets, or overwhelm you with unnecessary motions. To counter this, experts in high-conflict divorce emphasize leverage and documentation. Gather clear records, track communications, and organize everything in a way that makes it easy for your lawyer and the court to see patterns of deceit. This structured clarity not only weakens their manipulation but also restores your psychological balance. The emotional weight of this process can be crushing, yet it demands precision. Take property division again. If one spouse receives more assets, that new financial landscape impacts spousal support and child support calculations. Family law doesn't operate in emotional silos. It's an intricate ecosystem of math, statutes, and human behavior. Attorneys calculate alimony based on need versus ability to pay, and courts may also factor in attorneys' fees, which depend on both parties' relative resources. For the victim of a narcissist, this can feel deeply unfair, as narcissists are skilled at masking their true financial situation. This is why forensic accountants often become key allies. They peel back layers of deception, uncover hidden income, and reframe what wealth actually looks like beyond tax returns. From a psychological perspective, this is also a critical validation moment, proof that the narcissist's illusion of superiority can and will collapse under factual scrutiny. In complex financial cases, forensics can reveal truths hidden behind years of manipulation. A business owner might appear to earn very little on paper, yet personal expenses, travel, electronics, vehicles, are paid through the company. While the IRS may view these as legitimate deductions, family courts often add them back as income. Psychologically, this exposure cuts to the core of the narcissist's defense mechanism. Their identity depends on control and superiority. Being unmasked in such a tangible way is one of the few experiences that truly destabilizes them. But for the victim, this moment can also be empowering. It's a reminder that truth, though slow, is measurable. Therapists often encourage clients to anchor themselves in these moments of factual validation as antidotes to gaslighting fatigue. Before stepping into the storm, assess your foundations. If you are preparing to divorce a narcissist, start by asking key questions. Do you have a prenuptial agreement? If not, what assets were built during the marriage and by whom? The court will divide everything into 3 categories: your separate assets, your spouse's separate assets, and the marital estate. The marital portion, the wealth accumulated during your union, will typically be divided equally, though this depends on the jurisdiction. Here again, the narcissist will attempt to blur these lines, claiming ownership over what is not theirs or hiding what should be shared. Recognizing these maneuvers not as personal betrayals, but as predictable patterns of narcissistic control, helps you detach emotionally and respond strategically. Ultimately, this is not just a legal battle, it is a psychological reclamation. Each document you gather, each fact you clarify, each boundary you enforce becomes a step toward independence. Narcissists thrive in emotional fog, but they falter in the face of precision and consistency. Your calm, your organization, and your understanding of the process are the weapons they cannot disarm. The system may not offer emotional justice, but through awareness and preparation, you can carve out something far more enduring: peace of mind, self-respect, and a future no longer dictated by their chaos. In most divorce cases, the starting point for property division is an even 50-50 split. However, exceptions often arise, particularly in cases involving marital waste, financial dissipation, or any misuse of joint assets. Courts may also separate inherited wealth or property owned before the marriage, provided these have not been mixed or commingled with shared assets. The rule of thumb is simple but powerful. Anything earned through active effort during the marriage typically becomes part of the marital estate, or, in community property states, shared equally between both spouses. Yet, when one of the parties is a narcissist, these seemingly clear distinctions become murky. Narcissists thrive in financial fog, and they often weaponize confusion, manipulation, and misinformation to secure advantage. Psychologists describe this as instrumental deceit, a deliberate strategy to maintain dominance and control by destabilizing the other party's sense of financial security. If you are the moneyed spouse, your first line of defense is documentation. Narcissists are notorious for fabricating stories and distorting facts, so you must ground yourself in hard evidence. Clean records, transparent bank statements, detailed transaction logs, proof of gifts and transfers. These aren't just financial documents. They are psychological shields. They protect you from false accusations and create an objective trail that even a skilled manipulator cannot rewrite. On the other hand, if you are the non-moneyed spouse, your strategy should focus on visibility, on building a clear, consistent picture of your contributions, your lifestyle during the marriage, and any emerging signs of financial manipulation. Experts in financial abuse recommend keeping a small emergency fund, your safety cushion. Narcissists often respond to separation by cutting off credit cards, redirecting income, or hiding money in obscure accounts, leaving their partners financially stranded. Having independent funds ensures you can survive the waiting period before temporary relief hearings, which can stretch for weeks or even months. Although most courts issue standing orders at the start of a case, mandates that both parties maintain the financial status quo, narcissists rarely obey them willingly. They may cancel insurance policies, alter beneficiaries, or reroute paychecks into secret accounts. These acts are not merely financial sabotage. They are psychological warfare. The intent is to induce panic, forcing you into reactive decisions. Legal recourse exists, but the system moves slowly, and narcissists exploit that delay to create chaos. Understanding this pattern allows you to act proactively rather than emotionally. As psychologists often remind victims of narcissistic abuse, anticipation is power. When you expect the storm, you stop mistaking it for a surprise. Before filing, clarity is everything. Begin by asking yourself and your legal team the essential questions that will define your strategy. What leverage do you currently have? What documentation can you access and what remains hidden? Where are the financial discrepancies or patterns of deceit? Can accounts be traced and subpoenaed? Beyond the numbers, define your deeper goals. Do you want to keep the business or sell it? Is keeping the family home important for your children's stability? What kind of custody arrangement feels right and sustainable for your emotional health? These questions aren't just logistical. They are psychological anchors, helping you maintain purpose amid manipulation. Finally, assemble your support ecosystem, your A-team. This should include a skilled attorney familiar with high-conflict personalities, a therapist who understands narcissistic abuse, a financial advisor or forensic accountant, and a divorce coach to help you manage the process emotionally and strategically. Just as importantly, nurture your personal circle. Trusted friends, family, a mentor, or spiritual counselor who can ground you when the narcissist's chaos threatens to consume your clarity. The process ahead will test every part of you, emotionally, financially, and mentally, but structure is your antidote to their disorder. With the right documentation, preparation, and support, you can turn confusion into control and transform a battlefield into a blueprint for liberation. When you're dealing with a narcissist, understand one thing clearly: they feed on your emotional reactions. Every outburst, every visible frustration, becomes fuel for their ego. They are masters of provocation, and they will deliberately bait you, twist your words, and fabricate lies to push you toward emotional chaos. Expect it, because that's their playbook. They will ignore court orders, spread false narratives, and manipulate systems without hesitation. Yet here lies your secret weapon: calm. The quieter your mind, the stronger your position. Your composure is not weakness, it's psychological dominance. Narcissists crave emotional turbulence, and when you deny them that, you strip them of control. Silence and strategy become your sharpest tools, disarming their tactics while preserving your dignity. If you truly want to master this battle, you must embody the mindset of a pro. Professionals don't react, they anticipate. They don't chase control, they are control. Your sense of power is not about aggression or confrontation. It's about self-belief, poise, and clarity. As many psychologists emphasize, confidence is contagious. It signals to both the narcissist and the legal system that you cannot be intimidated. You could have the most brilliant attorney on your side, but if deep inside you still feel powerless, no one can truly protect you. Your energy sets the tone of this fight. Stand tall, breathe deeply, and remember that leadership begins within. When you lead with certainty, manipulation loses its grip. So yes, there's a lot to process here, and it might take a second reading or viewing to let it all sink in. This isn't just legal advice. It's psychological preparation for emotional warfare. You are learning not only how to handle a narcissist, but also how to reclaim yourself in the process. Because whether you're building a business, launching a brand, running a household, or fighting through divorce proceedings, this journey demands everything from you: focus, endurance, and unwavering resolve. The decisions you make now shape the quality of your future peace. If this message resonates with you, take it as a sign to keep moving forward, no matter how heavy the process feels. Share the insight, hold your ground, and refuse to surrender your peace to someone who thrives on chaos. The narcissist only wins when you give in, and you're far too strong for that. Remember, today is a perfect day to begin negotiating the life you truly deserve.